Hello everyone. Wishing you all a very good afternoon. I hope all of you are doing fine, fit, safe, healthy, happy. Deepak, Hemant, Vidya, am I audible and visible to all of you? Can you just raise your hand, wave your hand, let me know that I am audible. Okay. Vidya, Deepak, thanks. So I'm audible to everyone, and that is how we start our class. We'll wind up this chapter today, the chapter on EMI. Up till now, we have covered everything up till inductance. In the last class, I think we covered self and mutual inductances. We found out the way of calculating self and mutual inductance. To find out self inductance, you make a current I to flow in the loop or whatever you have solenoid. Then you find the current, then you find the magnetic field due to this current. Then you find out the flux, equate it to Li, you get the self inductance. To find out mutual inductance, you will have two coils or a system of two things. We found out the mutual inductance. Did we find out the mutual inductance? We did not find the mutual inductance of this thing. I think we did a variation of this question, but we did not find out the mutual inductance of this thing. So let me just put this question again. Oops, what has happened? Okay. Let me put this question again. I have an infinite current carrying wire I, and I have a circular square loop A at a distance x from this wire. You have to find the mutual inductance of this system. You have to find the mutual inductance of this system. I think I did one part of this question, one variation of this question. From that variation, can you tell me what will be the mutual inductance of this system? I'll give you 2 minutes to solve this question. An infinite current carrying wire or an infinite wire. It may not be given as a current carrying wire. It can be just given as an infinite wire. So you have a system of an infinite wire and a square loop. What is the mutual inductance of this system? Can you tell me? Mutual inductance of this system. Are you trying the question? How many of you are trying? Deepak, Hemant, Vidya, are you all trying the question? Any idea? Can you give me any idea how you will do this? What is the method of finding out the mutual inductance? I think you guys were not there in the last class. So what is the method of finding mutual inductance? I will assume a current I in this wire. With this current I am going to find the flux linked in this coil. How will I find the flux linked in this coil? I think I discussed it in the previous class. I will take width, an element of width dx at a distance x. The magnetic field at this point will be mu naught I by 2 pi x. The small flux d phi through this small section will be b into a, b into dA into cos theta. Cos theta is either 1 or +1 or -1. I'm not concerned about the sign, so I'll take it as +1. So small flux is mu naught I by 2 pi x multiplied by a dx. A dx is a small area of this small portion. This is the total flux. This is the flux in the small region. How do I find the total flux? To integrate this, your x, okay, I have taken this also x, this also x, let me call this as b. So this will vary from b to a plus b. So you will have the total flux phi as mu naught I by 2 pi natural log multiplied by a natural log of a plus b divided by b. This is the total flux. Now how do we get the mutual inductance? You equate this total flux, phi is equal to mi. If the number of turns is given as n, you will multiply this by n. So you will get the mutual inductance. The mutual inductance will be equal to mu naught I n a by 2 pi natural log of a plus b divided by b. Do we understand this? How I have done this? So in this question, I found out the flux and equated the flux to mi, and that I say I will get cancelled. I did not cancel it. I say I will get cancelled, and whatever is left will be the mutual inductance of this system. Do we understand this? Yes or no? Can I have raised hand that we understand this? How I have calculated this? Yes or no? Do we understand this? Okay. Now, if this, I think you were not in the last class, so I'll just tell you, if this current is given as a function of time, I is equal to I naught sine omega t, then what will happen? This flux will start varying with time. If you find d phi by dt or minus d phi by dt, you can find the EMF induced in this loop. So instead of current, you write current as I naught sine omega t, and you differentiate this current with respect to time, and you will get the rate of change of current. That will give you the rate of change of flux, and that will give you the EMF induced in the loop as a function of time. I hope you understand this. Let us move ahead and talk more about inductor. Now, when we are talking about inductor, we are basically talking about self-inductance. So we are talking about a single coil self-inductance denoted by the letter L, is denoted or written in this form L. The SI unit is Henry. We have also seen how much is 1 Henry. Now, in a circuit, whenever this L comes, if I take the reciprocal nature from current from A to B, if the current is flowing from A to B, current is I, resistance is R. We go from A to B in the direction of current. So how do you write the Kirchhoff's law or Ohm's law? We write it like this: PA, potential of point A, in the direction of current, potential drops, minus I into R is equal to VB, or you can write VA minus VB is equal to IR. Do we understand this? Can I have raised hand that we understand this, sir? Okay, we understand this. Now, what happens in case of inductor? Also follow the same convention. You also have the same convention. What do you mean by same convention? What do you mean by same convention? In the direction of current, if I go from point A to point B, if the current is I flowing from A to B, if I have to write the potential drop, how do I write it in the case of an inductor? Remember, electrically inductor and resistor, they are behaving same. As you can see, if when two resistors are in series, the effective resistance is R1 plus R2. Similarly, when two inductors are in series, the effective inductance is L1 plus L2. So also in the case of parallel combination. In case of parallel combination, the effective resistance is 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 is 1 by R equivalent. 1 by L equivalent is also equal to 1 by L1 plus 1 by L2. Same logic applies here. Something has changed. So when I write Kirchhoff's law or Ohm's law from A to B, I write it like this: VA. Now, when you're going in the direction of current, potential decreases. In the case of resistance, the decrease in potential is IR. In case of inductance, the decrease is L di by dt. So write it as minus of L di by dt in the direction of current, potential drops, that will be equal to VB. Do we understand this? So I can write this as VA minus VB will be equal to L di by dt. Remember, here we have di by dt and not I. So if the current is not changing with time, if di by dt is 0, current is not changing with time, this will imply VA will be equal to V. Am I clear? How do you apply Kirchhoff's law across an inductor? You definitely know how to apply Kirchhoff's law across a resistor. Just to remind you, how do you apply Kirchhoff's law across a capacitor? If this is the positive terminal, this is the negative terminal, charge is plus Q on this side, minus Q on this side, and you have this point A, this point B. Remember, it doesn't matter how the current is flowing. It only matters from where to where you are moving. If you are moving from point A to point B, what will be the equation in this case for a capacitor? So we start with VA. Now, when I'm moving from A to B, I am moving from positive terminal to negative terminal. I am moving from positive terminal to negative terminal. Potential drops. How much is the drop? Q by C. If it is dropping, it has to be negative. So minus Q by C is equal to VB. So in this case, VA minus VB becomes Q by C. We have already discussed this, but since this thing has come up, and that is why I have written this, only one element remains. So why to leave it? If you had a battery, if you have a battery, positive terminal, negative terminal, EMF of the battery is E. This is point A, this is point B. If you move across the battery from positive to negative terminal, what happens? You will tell me, sir, potential drops. Drop is taken as negative. So VA minus E will be equal to VB. This implies VA minus VB will be equal to E. VA minus VB will be equal to E. Do we all understand this? Can I have some reason that we understand this? I have covered all the 4 elements here, starting with inductor, no, starting with resistor, moving on to inductor, then moving on to capacitor, then moving on to battery. So it's a quick revision of the entire current electricity wala part. We have done it in the shortest possible time. Now, if we have done this in the shortest possible time, we can have a question now based on this. So how will the question come? The language would be like this. Current in a circuit varies like this. I naught into T. No, I naught into T square. I naught into T square is how current varies in a circuit. Now, a part of the circuit is drawn here. A part of the circuit is drawn here. This is A, this is B, this is 5 ohms, this is 4 volt, this is 3 Henry. At time t is equal to 0, and at time t is equal to 2 seconds, you have to find out VA minus VB. Let's see if you can apply what you have learned into this question. I'll wait for you for 2 minutes. Okay, anyone got the answer? Anyone got the answer for this one? How to do this? At time t is equal to 0, current is 0. Now rate of change of current di by dt is I naught into t, 2 I naught into t. That is also 0. Yes or no? So now you apply Kirchhoff's law, Ohm's law from point A to point B. Now here the direction of current is not given, so I'll just assume that current is moving like this from A to B. So how do I do? What do? I move across the resistor. I start from point A. I move across the resistor. There is no current in the circuit, so there is no potential drop. So this goes away. Then I move across the battery. I move from positive terminal to negative terminal. So potential drop. The drop is minus 4 volt. Then I move across the inductor. I move in the direction of current across the inductor, but the rate of change of current is 0, and hence the potential drop is also 0. So no potential drops here. I reach point B. So my VA minus VB becomes 4 volt when time is 0. Do you understand this? Can I have some raise hand that you understand this, sir? So VA minus VB in the first case is 4 volt. What about the second case? At time t is equal to 2 seconds, current will be 2 times I naught. Current will be 2 times I naught. I did not give you the value of I naught. Okay, we'll calculate in terms of I naught. Current will be 4 times I naught. Sorry, current will be 4 times I naught, 2 square, and the rate of change of current di by dt will be 2 times I naught into t. T is 2, so it will be 4 times I naught. So both the things are 4 times I naught. Yes or no? So again, you start from, let us take the value of I naught as 1. Let us take the value of I naught as 1. So this also becomes 4 and this also becomes 4. Now we again start from point A. Potential of point A is taken as VA. VA, again I move across the resistor, potential drop. So it is taken as minus. Current is taken as 4. Current is 4 multiplied by 5. 4 multiplied by 5 is 20. So VA minus 20. We again move across the battery. We move from higher terminal, positive terminal to lower terminal. So it drops. Drop is minus 4. Then I move across the inductor. Again in the direction of current. So potential drops. Minus. L is 3. Di by dt is 4. So 3 multiplied by 4. and I reach point B. So I can now write VA minus VB will be all these things, and all these things you just add or subtract depending on what is your value. Do we get this? Can I have some raise hand that we understand this, sir? A very simple example of a question. Now this question, if it comes in JE, this could be in the form of I is equal to 2 times e raised to the power minus tn, something of that nature. Don't worry. Whatever happens, t by tau or whatever. So don't worry about this. You just have to do the same thing and you should be able to get the answer. Shall I give you a question again from this type? There is a question in the sheet. I think I've given you this sheet. And I will now share that question from the sheet to you. Here comes the question. AB is a part of a circuit. Find the potential difference VA minus VB if case number 1, current is 2 amperes and constant. Current is 2 amperes and increasing at the rate of 1 ampere per second. Current is 2 ampere and decreasing at the rate of 1 ampere per second. Your time starts now. I have the answer. Minus 9, Sai Teja. In which case minus 9 are you telling me? Which case minus 9? Case number 1, Sai Teja is telling me minus 9. Book says VA minus VB is plus 9. So there is a difference. VA minus VB, the book says plus 9. You are telling me minus 9. What is the correct option? Plus 9 or minus 9? Plus 9. Jen gives me the answer. Yes, beta. You got it correct. It is plus 9. Maybe Sai Teja did a mistake. So what you got to do? You just have to apply KVL from point A to point B. Oops. Why did it move? Point A to point B. Start from point A. VA. Current is going like this. In the direction of current, potential drops minus. L is 1. L di by dt. You move across the battery, so it is minus. Potential drop. You move across the resistor, so it is minus, minus. So this is your basic equation. This equation remains same in all the cases. You just have to put the values and get the answer. For example, in case number 1, 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 current is 2, di by dt is 0. You get this as the equation. VA minus VB becomes 9 volt. It is plus 9 beta. It is definitely not minus 9. A single mistake of a plus minus will cost you 5 marks, plus 4 because you did not get it right, minus 1 because you got it wrong. So you lose 5 marks for the marking a question wrong, and you don't lose 1 mark. So don't remember this. You lose 5 marks. Okay. In case number 2, current is 2 given and it is increasing at the rate of 1 ampere per second. So di by dt is plus 1. You put the values here. The second answer becomes 10 volts. Do we understand this? Can I have some reason that we understand this, sir? Okay. In the third case, something has changed. I is still 2, but the rate of change of current is not increasing, it is decreasing with time. So this becomes minus 1. So the entire thing minus of L di by dt. Since di by dt is negative, it becomes plus, and you have the answer as 8 volts. So 9 volt, 10 volt, and 8 volt are your answers. Do we understand this? Yes or no? So this is a very good example to understand this. Now we come to a question where we solve a small circuit. Now this question many a times confuses a lot of kids. So I will present this question to you. And the question comes now. You have a circuit. In this circuit, you have a battery of EMF E, voltage E, connected directly to an inductor. A circuit contains an ideal cell with an inductor with a switch. Initially, the switch is open. It is closed at time t is equal to 0. Find the current in the circuit as a function of time. Remember, this is not a LR circuit. This is not a LR circuit. There is no resistance in the circuit. Then correct. There is no resistance in the circuit. There is only inductance in the circuit. You have to find the current in the circuit as a function of time. Your time starts now. Anyone got this? What is the answer, teacher? You got the answer. Answer is there on the board. You can see it. Answer is there on the board. You can see it. Everyone got this? Great. You got this? Great. So what do? You draw the current in the circuit. Let us assume that the current is I. Current goes like this. You apply Kirchhoff's law. You start from this point. You move across this battery. So it is plus E. From the negative terminal to the positive terminal, you are moving. Potential rises plus E. Then you move in the direction of current. You move across the inductor. So it is minus L di by dt. Please watch it very carefully. And then you come back to the same point, so that is 0. So my E becomes L di by dt. After this stage, you just need to integrate this, take dt this side, integrate both sides, and you shall have your answer. And the answer definitely, where is my cursor? My cursor is here. The answer definitely looks like this. Everyone got this answer? I is E t by L, directly proportional to time. Remember this, and remember. Now, what are the next set of questions? To get to the next set of questions, I will not tell you anything, but I will straight away give you a question. Where is my cursor? My cursor is here. I always lose track of it. This is the question that I am going to give you. What should be the question? Okay, this one will be good. Okay. If you remember, we did a similar question in the case of capacitor. So this is the switch. This is resistor R. This is resistor R1. This is L. This current is I1. This current is I2. And this current is I. I1, I2, and I. EMF of this battery is E. At time t is equal to 0, switch is switched on. You have to find the value of I, I1 and I2. I give you 2 minutes to solve it. So, anyone got the answer for this one? Anyone got the answer for this one? No one? Well, remember what I told you about the inductor? At time t is equal to 0, resistance of the inductor is infinite. So this basically behaves as an open circuit. So there will be no current going in the branch of inductor. So I1 becomes 0. The current will go in the lower branch. So my I will be equal to I1. I is the current in the branch of R. I1 is the current in the branch of R1. And that will be equal to E divided by R plus R1. Do we understand this? Yes or no? Please raise your hands and tell me that we understand this, sir. Okay. The next part of the question would be, after a long time, find the value of I, I1, and I2. I1, and I2 after a long time. So after a long time, what happens? What happens after a long time? After a long time, the resistance of the inductor becomes 0. So it basically behaves like a short circuit. So what will happen? If there is no resistance in the upper branch, no current will go here. So I1 becomes 0, I becomes equal to I2, and that becomes E by R. Do we understand this? Do we understand this, everyone? After a long time, inductor behaves as a short circuit. There is no current going in the upper branch. There is no current going in the lower branch. So the current in the upper branch and current in the main branch is same, E divided by R. What we are going to do now is do a similar question from the sheet. So I'll get that question. And the question is here. In the following circuit, the switch is closed at time t is equal to 0. Find the current I1, I2, and I3 and di by dt, di3 by dt at time t is equal to 0 and time t is equal to infinity. Initially, all the currents are 0. Can you do this? E by 2R is I1, sir. Okay, good. So you got the answer. What about I2, I3? Okay, one is 0. Great. So basically, what you got to understand is at time t is equal to 0, in the branch of inductor, it becomes an open circuit, so no current goes in the branch. So I1 becomes equal to I2, and it becomes E divided by R plus R, 2R. It becomes E divided by 2R, as simple as this. What about infinity case? In infinity case, it behaves like a short circuit. In infinity case, it behaves like short circuit. So inductor goes away. Here there is one resistance. Here there is second resistance. These two are in parallel. R and R in parallel becomes R by 2. It is in series with R. So you can find the effective resistance, and from there you can find the value of currents. I1 will be coming as E divided by effective resistance. Effective resistance will be 3R by 2. So it will be I1 will be 2 times E divided by 3R. I2 and I3 will be equal because the resistances are equal, and hence you have E by 3R going in both the branches. Do we understand this, everyone? The same question could have been made. The same question could have been made for a capacitor. The case becomes reversed. At time t is equal to 0, it behaves as short circuit. At time t is equal to infinity, it behaves as an open circuit. So just it gets reversed. Please remember this. That brings us to the last part of this, the growth and decay of current in an LR circuit. In the question that we did, it was only battery and the inductor. Now I bring a resistor. So the current at time t is equal to 0 will try to shoot up to E by R. It will not be happening because inductor will resist it. So current will gradually increase. We call it gradually increase, but it will be almost instantaneous. So we gradually increase it. That process is known as growth of current in LR circuit. And I hope that everyone knows that this will be the value of current. I is equal to I naught 1 minus e to the power minus t by tau. Do we all know this? Yes or no? Where I naught is known as steady state current or current at t is equal to infinity. In this case, it will be equal to E by R. Tau is known as time constant of the circuit. And this time constant of the circuit is how much? L by R or R by L? Do we understand this? Yes or no? L by R is known as time constant of the circuit. Then we also must know how the graph of this thing looks like. The graph of this thing looks like this. At infinite time, according to this graph, the current becomes maximum. Then we have the definition of time constant. In one time constant, current reaches from 0 to 63% of the maximum value, or 0.63 times of the value of I naught. Do we understand this? Yes or no? You must also understand and realize that the final current in the circuit is E by R, and it is independent of L. And you put the value of time as 1 tau, you will get I as 0.63 times I naught. You all know this, right? Yes or no? Okay. Very important. You must remember this point that I am going to tell you now. More the time constant in the circuit implies slower rate of current. This is not the important point that I was looking for. This is what I'm looking for. If there is any change in the circuit containing the inductor, there is no instantaneous effect on the flux of the inductor. Please, 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 please remember this. Please remember this. It will help you a lot. SOS, save our souls. Flux through the inductor remains constant. If there is a sudden change in anything, flux through the inductor remains constant. Will you remember this? Yes or no? Yes or no? Question based on this. At time t is equal to 0, switch is closed. After a long time, suddenly the inductance of the inductor is made eta times less. So it becomes 1 by eta times of its initial value. Find out the instant current just after the operation. Find out the current just after the operation when this inductance drastically changes. After that instant, what is the current in the circuit and what is your answer? Remember, my question will not stop here. I will give you another question based on this. What is the answer? So how do you do this? L1 I1 is equal to L2 I2. Remember, flux remains constant. Initial inductance is L. Current is E by R, steady state current. Final inductance becomes L divided by eta multiplied by the instantaneous current I2. So you will get the instantaneous current as eta times E by R. Do we all understand this? Can I have some raised hands that we understand this? Okay. Now if I ask you, after this instant, please remember my question. After this instant, find the current in the circuit as a function of time. That would be the question. After this instant, what is the current in the circuit as a function of time? Give you 2 minutes to think about this. Think and let me know your answer. So now at time t is equal to 0, your current is this. You have to tell me the current in the circuit as a function of time now. Now, after this instant. How will you get this? I'll give you a method of doing this. Where is my pen? Okay. Now this is something that you will never find in any book. Please note it very carefully. I'll just go to a new slide. I'll just go to a new slide and then I will share it now. And what is the Guru Mantra? Don't forget it for anything. I at any time t will be I infinity plus I naught minus I infinity e raised to the power minus R t by L. This is what you must remember. Will you remember this? Just remember this formula and you just put the values here and you will get the answer. Similar formula exists for capacitance. For capacitance, you can write in terms of charge or you can write it in terms of voltage. I write it in terms of voltage. Voltage across the capacitor will be voltage at infinity or charge at infinity plus charge at 0 or voltage at 0 minus voltage at infinity e to the power minus t by RC. That's how you write it for your voltage. If you want to write it for charge, instead of VT, just write QT. What is this? Instead of VT, just write QT. Now, how does this formula help? I'm coming to it. IT, as you all know, IT is current as a function of time. So you have to find the voltage, the current at infinity. Now in this case, what is the current at infinity? After a very long time, current in the circuit will be E by R. Yes or no? Please raise your hands and tell me yes or no. Yes or no? Yes. What is I naught? Eta times E by R. What is I infinity? E by R. What is R? R is R. How much is L now? It is L divided by eta. Put your values, get your answer, stay happy. So I at time t becomes E by R plus E naught minus E by R. So eta minus 1 E by R e to the power minus R eta t by L. This is your current as a function of time. If you do it by my way, this is how you get it. If you don't do it by this way, you have to put the Kirchhoff's voltage law, current law, move in a loop, integrate, do this, do that, and then you will end up with the answer and you will end up with the same answer. That's how it is done. Now you would be wondering, how did I get to this result? Well, I put in a lot of effort, and that is how you become good each and every day. I keep on thinking about how to make things simpler, and this is the fruit of the hard work that I have done. Now, remember this formula is valid for growth of current. It is also valid for decay of current. Now, in your normal circuit, when you're talking about your normal circuit means what? Normal circuit means what? Normal circuit means what? I'll take you back to the normal circuit. This is your normal circuit. Oops, you don't see it. This is your normal circuit. Now, remember my formula. My formula is I at time t is I infinity. In this case, I infinity is E by R plus I naught. In this case, I naught is 0 minus I infinity. I infinity is E by R, e to the power minus RT by L. So you can apply this here and you will get current as a function of time for the growth circuit. Do we understand this or it has gone above our heads? Okay. Can I have some raise hand that we understand this? Okay. This is the most general formula that you can make. Now, see. Now, see. This is your decay circuit. I can apply the same formula here. I infinity, I at time t is equal to I infinity plus I naught minus I infinity e to the power minus RT by L. Here, what is I infinity? Here, I infinity is 0. I infinity is 0. And E naught is E by R, and you get your answer. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? How did you get it? See? So, what is the moral of the story? You can remember this one formula, you can get the answer for any circuit. Yes or no? Same thing could be done for the charge on the capacitor. I had given you the formula for charge on the capacitor. I had given it in terms of voltage of the capacitor. You can remember it in terms of voltage of the capacitor, or you can remember in terms of charge. Doesn't matter. The formula remains same. So you can use this formula and get the value of potential difference across the across the capacitor, or the charge on the capacitor as a function of time, whatever you do. Now remember, these formulas are also valid if the capacitor is initially charged. For example, you have a capacitor connected like this across a battery. The EMF of the battery is E. The charge on the capacitor is C, and it is initially charged. This is positive plate, this is negative plate. Initial charge is CE by 2 positive and CE by 2 negative. So what you got to do? You change this in terms of Q infinity, Q naught minus Q infinity. Q infinity is the final charge. Final charge will be C into E. Yes or no? Initial charge is C by 2. Just put the values, get the answer, stay happy. Are you getting my point? So this formula is also valid for what? Valid for initially charged capacitors. Anything that you do, this formula remains valid. I don't have time, otherwise I could have given you different types of question based on this and probably use this formula and get the answers, but I don't think those questions can come, and I don't have that much time that I can spend on this. So I given you a brief of this. That is how I wanted to end this class. That is exactly how I ended this class, with this high point that you know now. Use this and stay happy. Chalo, on that note, I will wind up today's class. I think we have done the EMI wala part. EMI is done, AC is left. We'll try to wind up AC in one class. In one class, we'll try to wind it up. And then we'll move on to your thermodynamics. When is your exam? Third, okay. So probably I'll wind up thermodynamics in 4 or 5 days. So by 31st, you can be free. I've done with whatever I had to do. So If there's anything that you want to ask me, you can ask me. Any doubts, anywhere else from my side, this class is over. And I hope that you perform well in the exams. Take care.